In this next hour, we're going to be working on some hip opener exercises as well as some deeper back bends. Just a reminder, only take these poses as deep as you need them to go. If you feel any discomfort or pain, please come out of the pose and take a rest. You can always join the video again when you're ready. Now, back bending can be really exciting, really fun. It also can be very frustrating because it's not just about how well you can bend the spine. If you have any areas of tightness, particularly in the chest or the shoulders, the hip flexors, or even the quadriceps, back bending can be a little bit more troublesome for you. So again, be kind to yourself. Take a deep breath, get some blocks, maybe a strap, and I'll meet you on the mat. Let's start down on our mat today. I'll give you the choice of any pose that you choose, whether it's laying on your back, in child's pose, or if you just want to have a nice seat. Wherever you are, all I ask is that your spine is long, shoulders are away from your ears, and I want you to start softening the eyes closed. So we begin this class, as every class that I teach, just with a few breaths. So just soften the eyes closed and take a breath in and a breath out and just notice where you are right now. Maybe start scanning through the body, noticing those areas of tightness. And with each breath, I want the outside world to just start falling away. Allow your breath to start deepening. Allow the belly to grow and expand with every inhale. And with every exhale, the belly button pulls into the spine as you push all of the air out. We'll just take one more breath like this together. And staying where you are, I just want you to focus on the lower back and the hips. Make a promise to yourself to be kind and to be gentle. Maybe to move into positions a little more cautious than usual. Just making sure that we protect our lower back and our hip joints. We'll take one final deep breath together and let that breath go. Begin to gently open through the eyes. And we'll find ourselves sitting on our heels, or maybe you have a block in between your heels underneath your hips. We're just going to find ourselves in this kneeling position. Again, the spine is nice and lifted. And place your hands onto your thighs here. We're just going to take a few seated cat-cows here. I really want you to over-exaggerate the spine and the chest and the hips. So as you inhale, you're sitting up tall, and I want you to slowly start pushing the belly forward. The shoulders pull back. You're creating that back bend. And then as you exhale, shoulders round forward and push your spine towards the back of your mat. Tuck the chin towards the chest. Good. Inhale, create that back bend. Go gentle. And exhale, release, push it to the back of the mat. Now, each time, maybe you're moving a little bit deeper, or maybe you're just staying where you are, being cautious into your warm-up. Exhale, round, tuck the chin towards the chest. Let's take one more here. Inhale, belly pulls forward, shoulders pull back. Really push the chest forward. And exhale, round. Now stay here. Take your hands, push the thighs away, spread the shoulder blades. Chin tucks in towards the chest, and then push the spine towards the back of the mat here. Good. Keep the breath moving. Don't hold your breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly coming back to neutral. Spine is lifted and long, shoulders away from the ears. Right hand plants, left hand lifts, and we're just going to find a little side bend. Now remember, you're always lengthening the spine before you take any twists or bend. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left hand plants, right hand goes over. Keep the hips planted here. Inhale, lift. Exhale towards the right. So make space between the hip and the rib cage. Plant that left hip down as you extend the rib cage up and over. Inhale, lift, and exhale to the left. Good. Inhale, lift back to center. Place your hands on the mat. We're in all fours position now. We're not going to stay here too long, but we're going to find puppy dog pose really quick here. So again, take your modifications that you need to. If you want to put a block underneath your chest so you don't go too low, that option is available to you. Otherwise, walking the hands out, hips are lifted. The hips stay on top of the knees, and you're pushing your chest, maybe your chin into the mat. If you want to turn your head slightly and put a cheek to the mat, that's fine, but push the armpits down. Now, those of us who are a little bit more flexible, maybe you're taking the right armpit and pushing it down and then moving to the left, maybe gently rocking. You just got one more breath here. And then slowly coming back up underneath you. Hands are underneath those shoulders. Good. From here, we're going to take that right foot and step it forward. And I just want you to send the hips forward and then send the hips back, straightening that right leg. So you're just gently warming up through the hip flexor and the hamstring. No big deal here. It doesn't really matter how it looks. It's just opening the joints. So try to sync the breath here. So let's take a breath in as you move the hips forward and breathing out as you move back. Inhaling and exhale. Good. When you're ready, inhale the hips forward and then just take that right knee back behind you. Step the left foot forward. The same thing. Inhale, hips move forward and back. Forward. Lengthening through the crown too and back. So the spine is always nice and lengthened. Just sending the hips forward and back. Let's go 2 more times. Last one. And then moving the hips forward again, and then just stepping the left foot back behind you. Good. We'll curl those toes under and find the first downward facing dog of your practice. So you can choose to find movement here, or if you just want a little bit of stillness, that's cool with me too. Wherever you are though, the fingers are spread wide, the fingertips are pushing into the mat. You're reaching the shoulders out of their socket because you're pushing the ground away and lengthening the spine. Now, the other things to think about with the shoulders is you're trying to make space between the shoulder blades. So you're trying to roll the armpits out. Roll and spiral the biceps towards the ears here, making space between the shoulder blades. Belly button is pulling into the spine, so try not to let the belly flop down and the chest flop down towards the mat. You're really pulling the belly button into the spine, creating length. And then you can bend into the knees or keep the legs straight. Maybe you're working on those heels coming down to the mat. We'll take one breath here in stillness. So find a stillness in your downward facing dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Good. When you're ready, inhale, right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. Just find stretch here. And then as you exhale, right knee towards the right elbow in a flying plank. Good. Inhale, back, right where you came from. Open the hip. Good. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Good. One more time. Up and back and away from you. This time as you exhale, find that flying plank, and then we'll step the right foot towards the right hand and find a revolved runner's lunge. So the right hand lifts towards the ceiling. And remember, the right knee is pushing to the inside. Don't let it flop open to the right side of your mat. Keep pushing the right knee underneath you, rolling the shoulders open. Use your blocks if you need to. And then see if you can kind of square off through the hips. So the right hip is pulling back, left hip is pulling forward. Good. When you're ready, hands back down. Step the right leg behind you. Find that downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, left leg opens. Bend the knee, open the hip. So just find stretch here. And then as you exhale, left knee towards left elbow. Good. Inhale, lifting up, lifting back. Bend the knee, open the hip. To the left elbow, flying plank. Back where you came from. Lifting and opening. Exhale to the left elbow. And then step that left foot forward. Right hand plants, left hand floats. Revolved runner's lunge. Keep opening through the shoulders. Keep opening through the hips. The crown of the head is lengthening forward, and you're pulling that left knee underneath you. One more breath here. Good. Left hand comes down. Step right back into that downward facing dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Good. Inhale, look at your fingertips. Step, jump, or float. Inhale, we'll halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, push down through the feet. Root to rise, reach. Exhale, hands through heart center. Hold here. And remember, the hands are pressing into one another. The elbows are splaying out, starting at the feet. Push all four corners of the feet into the ground. Lift through the kneecaps to activate through the thighs. Tucking the tailbone slightly, belly button pulls into the spine. Spine is long, chest is lifted, shoulders away from the ears. Lift the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Here we go. Inhale, root to rise, lift. Add your back bends or breath holds if you have them. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, stepping back into plank or floating. Take any modification you choose. I'm going to take the chaturanga, shoulders over wrists, elbows bend back. Inhale, finding your baby cobra or your up dog. And remember, you're pushing the ground away in that up dog, shoulders away from the ears. And exhaling right back into that downward facing dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Don't be ashamed to take that cat-cow or child's pose or just meeting us back in down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Inhale, look at your fingertips. Step, jump, or float. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push down through the feet to lift. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, lifting again, adding your back bends or breath holds. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or float back to plank. Take an extra breath here if you need it before you move. And then meeting back in downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Push the ground away. Deep breath out. Let's go one more round. Inhale, look at your fingertips. Step, jump, or hop. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Push down through the feet. Exhale, hands through heart center. Chest is lifted. Inhale, fingers grow tall. Find your back bends. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, lengthen halfway. The spine is long. Exhale, plant the hands, step or float. You choose here. Begin to modify if you're getting tired. Not a big deal. Otherwise, meeting back in downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Just a reminder, anytime we come back into down dog and you feel like you need a break, press the pause button. You can always come back when you're ready. We'll always meet back in downward facing dog. So we're going to move through this next flow sequence. The first time around, we're going to add a few bells and whistles just to gain a little bit more flexibility. The second time around, we're going to go with our breath. When you're ready, inhale, right leg rises.
As you exhale, step that foot forward. We're in high lunge. Inhale, lift. So remember, in high lunge, hips are forward and square. Knee is on top of ankle. That back leg wants to be straight, but if you have a micro bend, that's okay. And then you're trying to take the belly button and pull it into the spine here. So we don't want our belly falling out front. We want to keep a little bit of activation through the core, especially through these back bends. So we're in our high lunge. We're going to cactus the arms and find ourselves in that back bend. So I want you to keep activation through the core, keep lifting through the spine. Just think about taking the chest up towards the ceiling, not necessarily dumping things into the lower back. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus the arms. Find that little back bend. This time, inhale, lift, and forward fold as you straighten that front leg. So we're in a mini pyramid pose here. Good. Take the arms and cactus them. Exhale. Inhale, lift, straighten the front leg. One more time around. Exhale, cactus. Find a little bit of a back bend. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Good. As you exhale, bend the front knee. Plant the hands, step back into plank, and then you choose what you need next. We're meeting back in down dog. Remember, if you need a break, take a child's pose, push the pause button. Deep breath in that downward facing dog. Deep breath out. When you're ready, inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, stepping forward. We're in high lunge. Back heel is popped. Take a moment to adjust, to find what that pose means to you today. Remember, this time the left hip is pulling back, right hip is pulling forward. And then we'll exhale, cactus the arms, lift through the chest. Good. As you inhale, fingers lift, straighten the front leg, maybe find a little bit of a pyramid pose. Exhale, rebend the knee, cactus the arms, back bending. Inhale, pyramid. Good. Exhale, cactus. Find that back bend. One more time. Inhale, pyramid. Good. Bend into the front knee. Plant the hands. Step or float. And remember, Cobra is a great option for up dog. So if you find yourself a little tired today, like I am, you can always come down to a Cobra instead of finding that up dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. All right, we're going to take away those pyramid poses. We're going to find one high lunge with a back bend and then go right to the left-hand side. So no vinyasa in between. When you're ready, inhale, right leg rises. As you exhale, step it forward. Inhale, high lunge, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. As you exhale, open, bend. Good. Inhale to lengthen back into your high lunge. As you exhale, plant the hands. Step right back to down dog. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, high lunge, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, lift through the chest, find a little back bend. Good. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands. Step right back into your down dog. Go right side. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, high lunge. Good. Exhale, find that cactus arm back bend. Inhale, lift. Plant the hands. Step right back down dog. Deep breath out. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step forward, high lunge. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus the arms, back bending. Don't crunch into the lower back. Keep lifting the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back to down dog. Good. Stay here in down dog or roll through that plank. Find what you need. We're meeting back in down dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Good. One more deep breath in. Let's open the mouth and let it go. Good. Inhale, ripple through plank pose. Ripple through plank pose. Make sure that your joints are stacked here. And you're in a strong plank. So you're pushing the ground away. Your butt cheeks are squeezing together. Your kneecaps are lifted. And you're doming through the shoulders. So you're really pushing away. And we're going to take this plank and we're going to shift from plank to up dog. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, take your hips down towards the wrists. Keep the toes curled under, but pull the chest forward, push the ground away. Good. Inhale, plank. Exhale, find your up dog. Good. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Or up dog, sorry. One more time. Inhale, plank pose. I'll take your arms wide as the mat in that plank. Fingertips, let's go out to the side. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale with our toes, shift forward, shoulders over the wrists, and then back. Good. Shifting forward and back. You got two more. Shifting forward. Keep pushing the ground away. And back. Last one. Shifting forward and back. When you're ready, pull the hands right underneath you. Lower all the way down to your belly. Nice job, yogis. Okay, let's take our hands out in front of us. Let's come onto our forearms. So we're in a nice Sphinx pose. Let's do it that way to begin with. Sphinx pose. So you're rolling onto the tops of the thighs. The elbows are right underneath the shoulders, and you're pushing the ground away. You're pulling the chest forward, but pushing the ground away. Your buttocks are nice and soft here. Try not to really squeeze the butt at all. Now, if you're someone who's not flexible in the lower back, you're going to walk your hands out in front of you a little bit. If you have a nice back bend, keep your elbows right where they are. As you inhale, we're going to push the hands into the mat and straighten the elbows up off the ground, finding seal pose. Exhale, release. Good. When you're ready, inhale, seal. And exhale, release. Now make sure the crown of the head is lengthening. The spine is long. We're not crunching into the lower back. Release. And you have a little activation going through the core, the belly, right? We're not just letting the belly be soft. Tighten those belly muscles. Let's go one more time. Deep breath in, lift. Maybe you can walk your hands in a little closer, pushing the ground away. Be safe. And then when you're ready, slowly lower. Back down to your Sphinx pose. Remember squaring up the elbows and the shoulders. And then take the feet, bend the knees, take the feet up off the mat, point through the toes, push the ground away, and then think about taking the crown of your head towards your feet. It may not go very far. Mine do not. But we're working in that direction. So push the ground away, feet towards the head. Good, and when you're ready, just release the feet back long. Make a pillow for the head. And just wiggle the hips here from side to side. So we're moving into Shalabhasana, locust pose. So let's take our hands behind us today. Hands down towards the hips. Make sure again that you're rolling onto the tops of the thighs. You're not on the inside of the thighs. Feet stay together. So if you need to put a block to remind you to squeeze the feet together, do that. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift through the chest and the shoulders. Keep looking at the ground, and maybe you're even lifting the feet, finding that locust pose. Now we're going to stay here for a 5 count, but I want you to keep breathing. 5, 4, keep about lengthening the spine and the feet in opposite directions. 3, 2, 1, and release. Just rock the hips from side to side here. We're going to go one more round. This time I want you to think about not so much lifting high. I want you to think about lengthening. So really taking the top of the head and taking it to the mat in front of you and pointing through the toes and taking those toes to the back of the mat behind you. Okay, here we go again. Deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the chest, the neck, the head, the shoulders are squeezing back behind you. Maybe you're even lifting the feet. We'll count you down. Don't hold your breath. 5, 4, 3, Maybe you can even lift the hands a little higher. 2, 1, release. Good, just rock the hips from side to side. We're gonna move into bow pose next. So before we do that, let's just take the right leg, bend it up, and see if you can pull that right foot down towards the hips. Just getting a little quadricep action going, a little stretch through there, and then maybe do the same thing with the left hand side. Now, if you can't quite reach your feet, use a strap. And then we will prepare. So again, if bow pose is not your thing today, just take another locust pose, right? It's the same action, just one's a little deeper. Otherwise, the rest of us for bow pose, we're gonna try and take our hands onto the inside of the foot today, just to get a little bit more through the shoulders. So once you have that, square through the knees again. The knees start together, and you're gonna try to keep the knees as close together as possible. Flex through the feet if you can. And then I want you to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, the feet push into the hand to create the back bend. We're holding here for 5, 4, 3, neck in line with the spine, and release. Well done, yogis. Take the feet and just windshield wiper them side to side. And we will move on to the next sequence. So when you're ready, hands plant underneath the shoulders. Push yourself back through to child's pose. Let's just extend that spine really quick. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe you're wiggling from side to side. And then when you're ready, coming back, and we'll find that downward facing dog. Lifting the hips nice and high. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Good. Push the hands into the mat. Fingertips are squeezing into the mat. The shoulders are pushing out of their joints because you're pushing the ground away. Lengthen through the spine. Rotate the shoulder blades out. So outwardly rotating those shoulders. The biceps are spiraling in towards the ears. When you're ready, inhale, right leg lifts. As you exhale, knee to nose, crunch it in, flying plank. Good. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, knee to left elbow. So take the cross, flying plank. Good. Inhale, lift. Back, knee to nose. Crunch it in, push the ground away. Inhale, lifting back and up. This time, step the right foot forward, ground the left knee. Turn those toes 45. So we're not walking the foot up the mat today. We're just turning the toes out. And we're sinking the hips down. Now remember, if you're someone who needs a block, grab that block. Okay, left hand is gonna plant. We're gonna take the right hand and we're gonna sweep it behind us. I want you to think about pushing the chest and the hips towards the diagonal here. Good, reach forward, square yourself up. Do it again. Reach back and push the hips towards the diagonal behind you. This time, keep the hips where they are, but the hand's gonna circle forward and over behind you and around. One more time, forward, up, and around. Good. This time, keep the legs right where they are, but I want you to take the hands as wide as your mat, and I want you to tent the fingertips here. And then I want you to slowly start bending through the elbows and working the chest down towards the mat. Now, if this is super uncomfortable for you, don't do it. Find yourself on your block where you need to be. Make sure that front foot stays flexed. Protect that knee. Let it open. Let that hip soften. Last breath here. Good. When you're ready, walk the hands back underneath you. Square that right foot up underneath you. And we're going to step the back left foot forward to meet the front foot. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. So sitting back, knees behind the toes. And we're going to take our hands behind our back today. Pull the fingertips down towards the ground, shoulders squeeze behind you. And I want you to create a little back bend here. But again, keeping the strength through the muscles of the abdominals, right? So not crunching into the lower back. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down, folding over. Hands can come up over the head. As you inhale, lift, create that back bend again. Exhale, fold. Lay the belly right onto the thighs. Inhale, find that back bend. Exhale, fold. Good, plant the hands. Left foot steps back again. Drop the left knee. And we'll find ourselves in a kneeling lunge. So I really want you to think about tucking the tailbone under today. Activate through the abdominals, like you're trying to take that perfect swimsuit picture, right? Make your tummy as flat as you can. Square through the hips. The right hip is pulling back, and then push the hips forward and down, all the while making sure that front knee and the front ankle stay together, linked, right? They're stacked on top. Push that front knee away and find stretch through that quadricep on the left and the hip flexor. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, slow everything down, shoulders away from the ears. Good. Now, if you're ready for it, we're going to take the left foot into the buttock. Flex that foot. So not only are you creating a hip flexor stretch, but you have a really nice quadricep stretch as well. And try not to let the hips twist open, right? I can get a lot of depth that way, but it's cheating. So make sure you're always pulling this right hip back and sending the hips forward and down. Last breath. And then release that foot gently if you had it bound. Inhale, hands lift. Now, as you exhale, we're going to find that back bend again, but I want you to keep the length of the spine. So it's just like lifting through the chest, not necessarily pushing the belly forward. Whoop. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Hands plant. Let's step back into plank. You choose if you'd like to take that vinyasa or not. It's up to you. But we're going to meet back in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a deep breath out. One more time, deep breath in and a deep breath out. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts. Knee to nose, crunch it in, flying plank. Push the ground away. That knee is to the chest. And the foot is really tucked in. Inhale, lifting up and back. As you exhale, take the cross to the right elbow. Inhale, lifting up. Good. Knee to nose again, crunch. Inhale, lifting up. And then as you exhale, step that foot forward. Drop the right knee. Keep the foot where it is. Just turn the toes out 45. Right hand plants. Left hand goes behind you. So open the chest. Send the hips to that diagonal. Good. Just breathe. Again, use your blocks to lift you up if you need it. Let's reach forward and then reach up and behind us. So circling the arms and then back. Take it one more time. Reach forward, rolling open and reaching back. Hold here. Good. When you're ready, both hands plant. Take those front toes back to the front of the mat. And then when you're ready, curl the right toes under. We're going to step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Now this time when we bind up the hands, take the opposite clasp. So find your chair and your clasp first. Sink low. And then when you find your clasp, shoulders pull back, chest pulls forward. That's what's going to create the back bend here. As you exhale, lay the chest flat on the thighs. The head drops, the shoulders and the hands come over the head. Inhale, create the back bend, lift. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Release the hands. Right leg steps back. And we'll find ourselves in that Anjaneyasana again. So again, tucking the tailbone under a little bit here. Activate through the core and then send the hips forward and down. Now remember, square up through the hips. Right hip is pushing forward. Left hip is pulling back. All the while being wary of where that knee is. We're going to push that front knee away and sink the hips forward and down. Just enjoy this stretch here. That right hip flexor is just softening. If you want to stay here, stay here. Otherwise, we're going to bind up that back foot very gently. Re-square the hips. Because again, my hips tend to open when I grab my foot. So I want to make sure that I pull it back to center. Squeeze the foot into the butt and then send the hips forward and down. Belly button is pulling into the spine. One more breath here. Gently releasing that leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine, fingertips are reaching. And then as you exhale, cactus the chest up. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, open. Good. When you're ready, plant those hands, step back into plank. Take that vinyasa if you so choose, or take a rest. And we will meet back in downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in. Good, deep breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts. As you exhale, that right knee goes to the right elbow, flying plank. Maybe even adding a little bit of a chaturanga here. Inhale, up and back. Let's go again. Exhale, same thing. Good. Inhale, lifting up and back. One more time. Can we do it? Exhale, moving forward. Good. Inhale, up and back. As you exhale, step the left foot forward. Inhale, low crescent lunge here. So now high, we're going to sink that back knee down. And we're going to reach. I'm really breathing heavy here. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling, but just float the back knee just off your mat here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Plant the hands. Drop the left knee. We'll find that lizard lunge one more time. So turn the toes out. Reach back behind you. And now let's see if we can grab and bind that back foot. Push the chest up towards the ceiling. If you can't grab that foot, then just push that right knee away from you. Again, lifting the chest up towards the ceiling. Last breath. Whew. And when you're ready, we're going to place both hands on the mat, and we're going to step the right foot behind us, so towards the left side of our mat, and we're going to find a wild thing. Lift the hips. Make sure the shoulder and the wrist are stacked. You can reach up or you can reach behind, but you're lifting the chest, lifting the hips. Last breath here. Good. When you're ready, we're going to come back to a high lunge. So step that right foot forward. Inhale, lift. Good. As you exhale, cactus the arms. Good. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, set the back foot down. So now we're in warrior one. Hands clasped behind. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold into your humble warrior. Good. Let your head be heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine, chest over the knee, and then exhale, falling forward one more time. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, release the hands, come back to your warrior one, and we're going to step the back foot forward. Hands just going to come to heart center here. Okay, moving into dancer's pose. Right leg is the standing leg. Left leg bends up behind us. And again, I'm going to challenge you to grab the inside of your foot today. Square off through the hips. Chest is lifted, spine is lifted. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Back foot pushes into the hand to create the back bend. So again, trying not to open to the side. Keep your chest moving to the front. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Calm down. The left hip wants to be even with the right, so try to lower the left hip a little bit. Last breath here. And when you're ready, just release the leg. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, we're going to step or float right back into your plank. You choose. Yogi's choice. You always have choices. Okay, we have those 3 flying planks on the left-hand side. You can add in those chaturangas or not. Not a big deal. Otherwise, just take your left knee towards your left elbow. You don't have to add the chaturanga. Okay, when you're ready, take a deep breath in through the nose. Let's open the mouth, let it go. Good. Inhale. Left leg rises. As you exhale, take that left knee to the left elbow. Maybe you're adding that chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it forward. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lift. Ooh, that was a hard one for me. Exhale, step the left foot forward. You're in that low crescent lunge. So again, you're just floating that back knee off the mat. Sending the hips forward and down, spine is lifted. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then when you're ready, hands plant, drop that back knee. Just turn the left toes out for that lizard lunge. Right hand plants. You're either binding up the back foot and rolling the chest open, or you're just pushing that front thigh away. You choose. Slow down the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Breathing in. And when you're ready, release that foot. And we will slowly plant both hands. We're going to step the left foot over toward the right side of our mat, right into Wild Thing. So curl the right toes under, lift the right knee, step back, and float. Good. Lifting the chest, lifting the hips. You can look up or to the side. You can look down at your mat. Doesn't matter. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. We're going to get ready to step that left foot all the way forward, and we'll find a high lunge this time. Deep breath in. Holding here. Reaching the hands, and then as you exhale, cactus and find your back bend. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift. Good. When you're ready, the back foot spins down. Find your warrior one. Re-square up the hips. Adjust where you need to. Hands come behind the back. Opposite clasp you took last time. Inhale, lift through the chest. As you exhale, humble warrior fold. Push down through the back heel. Release the neck and the head. Hands go over the head. As you inhale, lift halfway. Lengthen through the spine and then exhale, fold again. Good. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Release the hands. Inhale. Coming back up to your warrior one. As you exhale, back foot steps forward. Inhale, reach. And exhale, hands through heart center. Nicely done, yogis. Okay. Left or right hand side. Well, actually, left hand. The left leg is the standing leg, right? The right knee is going to bend. So grabbing the inside of the foot, I'm going to challenge you. And again, you can use a strap here if you need to. Left hand is reaching up towards the ceiling. Re-square the hips. So don't allow that right hip to open a bit. Re-square it up to the center of your mat, to the front of your mat. When you're ready, foot pushes into the hand. Create that back bend. Breathing in. Drop the right hip the same height as the left. Stay calm. You can come in and out as you choose. Last breath. And when you're ready, gently release. Inhale, everything lifts. As you exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, lifting halfway. And exhale, just come down to your knees. We're going to take a quick camel pose. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to explain it because we've done this before. But you start with a block between your legs. The spine is always lifted. Abdominals are tight and your hips are pushed forward just a little bit. Again, you can just move through one side and the other, or you can start moving a little deeper into that back bend. Again, when you're coming out of the pose, reach the spine up to the ceiling, push the hips forward, which will allow you to come out. So you can use blocks, you can use your heels, right? Moving this way and that. You can come down to the full pose, right? With your heels flat or your heels up. So you choose. We're just going to spend another, let's say 3 breaths wherever you are. You can come in and out as you choose. If you're done and you need to take a break, rest in child's pose. Last breath. Now remember, when we're coming out, it's like I have a string lifting my chest up and my hips push forward as I come back to center. Well done. So sitting back on those heels, let's just take a quick child's pose. Just to lengthen through the spine a little bit. Really nice, everyone. Find your breath becoming a little bit longer, a little bit deeper again. And as you're ready, we'll come back to all fours. So just the last few poses of the class today. Let's continue to work on those hips. So let's find our pigeon pose. So whether you like coming into pigeon from down dog and then a flying plank kind of thing, find it that way. I am just going to step my right foot forward. I'm going to shimmy my right foot towards the left side of my mat, and I'm going to lay my shin down across the mat. Now, if you notice, my shin is pretty parallel with the top of my mat. That's what you're working for. However, if your right foot is starting to move towards the left hip, that's okay too. It just depends on your hip flexibility here. So we want to make sure also that you're rolling onto the top of the back thigh. You don't want to be rolling on the right hip. So that's the other option here. I want everybody to take a block today. And we're really going to push ourselves up on that block. I'm actually going to use 2 blocks. I feel a little unstable. We're going to use our blocks to sink our hips down, but lift through our chest. So I'm creating a little bit of a back bend here. Just got to kind of find it for yourself. Lift through the chest, sink the hips down. We'll just take one more breath here. Good. Now you can choose to stay here. You can forward fold in your pigeon, or you can see if you can start bending up that back foot. Now that back foot, you can bind it with one hand, maybe 2 hands. Maybe you can take that mermaid. But I'm going to continue to push myself up, keep lengthening through my spine as I'm sending my hips down.
And then when you're ready, just gently release that foot. Now again, find the pigeon that suits you. If you're looking for something a little bit different, I want you to start reaching your hands over to the left side of your mat. The left side of your mat, and then I want you to really push your right hip down into the mat. So just seeing if you can find a little extra stretch that way. We'll just find one more breath. And when you're ready to come out, the hands come right underneath the shoulders. We're going to roll onto the right hip and spin the left leg forward for Paschimottanasana. Now again, you can use your strap here around your feet, right, to gently coax yourself and making sure that your lower back is nice and lifted here. Like I find a really great stretch because I'm lengthening through my lower back. Those friends who are really flexible, place a block underneath your feet as you forward fold, or again, using that strap. The rest of us are probably just fine on the floor, lengthening through the spine and forward folding. Again, think about taking the chest over the feet. Now, if you need to micro bend up the knees a little bit or open the feet, that is also cool with me. Just find yourself lengthening through the spine and finding a little bit of stretch through those hamstrings. We'll take one more breath wherever you are, whichever position you decided to take. And then inhale back up to center. The right leg is going to move behind us as we find pigeon on the left-hand side. So again, making sure you have blocks handy. We're going to find that pigeon first and just take a few breaths, finding it, sinking it down, maybe trying to make sure that our front shin can be a little bit more parallel than we're used to. We're rolling on top of that back thigh. And then when you're ready, take those blocks to lift yourself up and to create maybe just a little bit of a back bend. This position is super uncomfortable for me because I have such a tight psoas. But I'm going to lift through my chest and I'm going to send my hips down. Again, I'm keeping activation through my abdominals, trying not to crunch into my lower lumbar. If you feel any pain in the lower back or discomfort, then come out. It might mean that you're just not quite strong enough, that you don't have enough muscle to hold things where they need to be. We'll take one more breath. Again, you can choose to stay here. You can choose to start forward folding, or you can see if you want to bind up that back foot. Or maybe even forward folding with that bound foot. Sometimes that feels nice too. But if you're binding with that foot, make sure you're lengthening the spine up to the top of your mat so we're not sinking down, right? We're always lengthening through the spine. Last breath. And then again, gently letting go of that foot and forward folding. If you're looking for a little bit more, this time both hands move over to the right side of your mat as you're pushing down into the left hip. And we'll stay here for about 4 breaths. You can come out at any time. Just try to make it as comfortable as you can. Feels good. Last breath here. And then when you're ready, the hands plant underneath. And we're going to send our right foot back forward. So we're going to find one more back bend today. It's going to be 3 rounds, either bridge, supported bridge, wheel, whatever you choose. So right now, I want you to just take your practice where it needs to go. If you just know you want to do supported bridge, find yourself with the block underneath your sacrum. It looks a little like this. Everyone's knees are going to be bent up. Hips, knees, and feet are on 2 lines, right? We're all even.
toes are pointing towards the top of your mat, not out to the diagonal or to the side. And then you're slowly going to start lifting your hips for bridge. Now, if you want supported bridge, just place a block underneath your sacrum and stay here. Otherwise, you're pushing your hips up. Maybe your hands are clasped underneath you and you're onto the tops of your shoulders, pushing your hips. Now, again, the feet do not change. The feet are always pointing forward, and you're trying to keep a little bit of activation through the inner thighs so that the knees don't splay out. Okay, wherever you are for round one, go ahead and release. If you're in supported bridge, just stay there. If you want to take another bridge, you can do that option. Otherwise, if you would like to move to wheel, feel free to take that for your second option. I'm going to show two versions of wheel. Wheel is not my favorite pose, so I'm not very good at it. So even yoga teachers have trouble backbending. I'm going to start with blocks first. So I'm going to position these blocks right by my ears, and I'm going to turn my fingers so that my fingers are pointing towards my shoulders and my elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling. Now, nothing has changed in my lower body, right? My toes are still pointing forward. And so when I'm ready, I'm going to slowly start pushing my hands onto the block. I'm going to take a deep breath in, and as I exhale, I'm going to lift into that bridge pose, and I'm going to start pushing forward to my shoulders. Let's just hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when you're ready to release, tuck the chin towards the chest. You're gently lowering down. Each vertebra come down to the mat. And then just take your knees and windshield wiper them side to side. So that's with the blocks. Now, if you have someone at home who's really kind to you, you can take that option, but holding on to their ankles. Some of us that have really tight shoulders here, that option helps because it puts our hands in a different position. So just know that that option is available to you as well. And then I'll try and show the full wheel without the blocks for our third and final bridge. Okay, so if you're still in supported bridge, you're going to stay where you are. You're going to take your third bridge, or you're going to take your wheel. Same thing, nothing has changed in my feet. I'm keeping a little bit of activation through the inner thighs so my knees don't splay outwards. My hands are going to go up and back. Fingertips are pointing towards my shoulders. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And as I exhale, I'm either going to come to the top of my head and readjust, or I'm going to push right up into that wheel. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck the chin, gently releasing down. And then if you had a block underneath your hips for supported bridge, take that away, and we'll all just gently sway our knees from side to side. Whew. Really nice, guys. Well, I hope you found a little bit of kindness through those back bends. Okay, here we go. Knees back to center. Pull the knees into the chest. We'll spend a little bit of time twisting here. Let's eagle up the legs. Right knee on top of the left knee. Both knees move towards the left side of your mat as your torso and your right hand move towards the right. Again, your gaze is towards the right as well. I'm just going to soften my eyes closed. I'm going to enjoy the stretch. And I'm going to focus on the breath entering the right lung. I'm going to focus on the right rib cage spreading with each breath. I'm going to focus on the right chest extending, stretching, and lengthening as I soften all of the muscles everywhere. I'm releasing my knees, my thighs, my feet are relaxed, my hands are relaxed. And I'm even starting to relax the areas around my eyes, but I'm still smiling. We'll take one more breath here.
And then as you're ready, you're gently, gently, gently rolling back to center. Pull the knees back into the chest. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, release the lower back from the mat. Left knee on top of the right. Both knees move towards the right side of your mat. Ground your knees, and then everything looks towards the left. Reach that left hand out. And then again, take all of your focus to the left side waist, the left lung. Open the left rib cage. Lengthen through the chest and the shoulder muscles. Allow your knees to relax and your feet to soften. Stay here with the slow, deep breaths. And only when you're ready, take a deep breath in and pull your knees back to center. Knees pull into the chest, flatten your lower back onto the mat, and we will find Shavasana. So that pose that you can just soften down and breathe comfortable in. Make sure you make all your adjustments. Grab a blanket if you need it. Maybe you're putting blocks underneath heads or shoulders. The spine is nice and long and the shoulders are relaxed. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath, deep, deep, deep. And then as you're ready, open the mouth and take a big exhale. Let's do it again. Deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale. Gently just closing the mouth and finding that deep belly breath. Allowing yourself to let go into today's practice. Find yourself getting lost. Find yourself letting go. Let the breath just soothe you down until you become undone. Now, if you need a little extra time, press the pause button and stay for as long as you need. Otherwise, we're going to start taking in a deep breath and letting that breath go. Wiggling fingers and toes, allowing yourself coming back to the present moment. Gently waking the body, and when you're ready, pulling your knees into your chest. Maybe staying here and taking a breath, or maybe rolling to your side and taking an extra breath. Take this moment to notice how you're feeling. And when you're ready, we'll meet in an easy seat. We'll end tonight's class with 3 deep breaths. Now, sitting up nice and tall, relaxing through the shoulders, just let the hands fall where they may, and keeping the eyes closed. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and let that breath go. Good. Inhale through the nose. This time, open the mouth and let it go again. Last one. Deep breath in and let it go. Thank you for sharing this hour with me. Namaste.